Setting up to go live. I'm just waiting until we're all the way there. I think we are done directing to Facebook Live. Yes, we are live on Facebook. Hello, everyone, and hello, Michelle Depres. I am so happy to have you here today. With a super interesting interview. And just super briefly that you all know when you catch this here on Facebook Live, I'm actually recording this for my podcast, Astrid Mueller Talks. So but I want to give you all the official scoop and possibility to tune in live, to share this along. As you see in the description, this is a very juicy coming out of the closet story that we have for you, on how you can literally find your business magic and miracle mindsets to really bring your gifts to the world. It's super powerful. Michelle is amazing. I love her. And I'm so honored to have you. So I'm going to start my timer and start this in a second. And what I will do, I want to tell you all as you're watching this here on Facebook Live that you can leave comments, any questions you have, anything you like, questions to Michelle, to me, comment and tag us. We will get back to all comments afterward. I will not address them during the interview because this will go on the radio and podcast. But yes, we will talk to you. So this is a cool opportunity. All right, so I'm going to get started here. All right. So welcome everyone to a new episode of Astrid Mueller Talks about remote possibilities with a new special guest who is super amazing and super inspiring to me. And I just saw her like last week where everything came together for her in a mastermind that we had. Like she was in that space sharing this amazing coming out of the closet fully into her power and really owning what she came here to do as a soul-preneur, impactpreneur, to really make a difference in the world. She has an amazing story. I'm just giving you a quick glimpse of her, what she does as a business entrepreneur, and then I'll give the word to you, Michelle. So Michelle has a background as a professional and successful CPA, also CFO, Chief Financial Officer in the corporate world, and really rocked that for around 25 years or so. And she also has a side that she hid for many, many years. She grew up intuitively and actually is a psychic medium. She hears things, and she finally claimed those gifts and really owns them because she found so much power in them for herself, and she knows she can give to the world with that gift. And she's now fully doing it, and she released things that held her back. So I'm so excited to have you to talk about remote possibilities and embracing challenges. Welcome, Michelle Depres.
Well, thank you, Astrid. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Do you want to share a bit in your own world, in your own words, how would you describe what you do today? Let's start with that.
Today, what I do is I help entrepreneurs grow or expand their business. It's how I do it that's a bit different. And that's the part that I hid. So my clients knew it, but I did not advertise it. That's the coming out of the closet. So I help people discover, figure out their hidden talents, their gifts, their life purpose, align their business with that, and then they soar. The big thing I help them with, the one common thing I have found with most of my clients is they are afraid or don't know how to speak their truth.
Yeah. And as you all are watching and listening, isn't that amazing? Like, she just role models this right now, right here, of really speaking her truth. And this is exactly what she came here to do, to help you also do that with whatever your gifts are. So I want to reflect that real quick, like the deep meaning and the deep power of this interview is because we all came with special gifts to this world, right? And sometimes those gifts are a little invisible to us because they come so natural, and we're just like, huh, who cares about that, right? It's just so easy. It feels like play. That's one of my obstacles. That's not worth it. So we make up these stories. Or it could be like with Michelle, we have really special gifts that are kind of scary to talk about because maybe they're taboo, or maybe there's like something around it of like where we're scared. What will people say when we say we like doing that, right? So, well, as long as we hide those things, we're not fully being ourselves. And like, I'm so excited that we can talk about this with you, Michelle, because you're like a great role model of like really embracing that. So tell us a bit more of how did you get started in embracing this coming out? Go ahead.
Get started. You know, it's a pathway. There's like a roller coaster and you're going up a mountain, but it's not a straight path. And sometimes we dip a bit and sometimes we integrate. I like to think of those dipping times as integrating, but you know, I have heard voices speaking to me at various times in my life that when I was younger, I just accepted more. I kind of thought everyone else heard them too, only I knew they didn't talk about it. But then I just said no. I just like shoved it away, and I went towards what is safe, what is secure. I went as a CPA, an accountant. I married my boss. It was before that was a taboo thing, but I went totally into security and roll forward 17 years. And I was not in my body. I was like dying inside. When we start to wake up, and if we don't follow it, it hurts. And we can start, I didn't get depressed, but I wasn't in me. I wasn't in my marriage. A fake me was in my marriage. I was projecting whatever it took to be safe. And I would scan the room. I'd figure out what that was. I was really good at figuring out what that was. And I would be that. And those voices came again. And they wouldn't leave me alone. And they hadn't been there for a long time. And they were showing me while I was sleeping. A lot of times dreams do this. It was, this is the pathway that your soul came here for. This is the pathway you're on, and you need to choose. And the time of choice is now. And that pathway I came here for was scary. I didn't know what it was. It was totally scary. Yeah. But that's what I chose.
I am so grateful that we can, in today's time, we're in a time where we can literally talk about things openly, freely. We're in a time of freedom where we can share our gifts without actual real risks, at least in most countries, right? So, because there were other centuries where, like even a few years back, where it would have been like so taboo, where actually you may have like gotten hurt or something, but today it's not like that, right? So, I want to give a quick example from my life too, why I can relate to that. So I'm not as psychically open as Michelle. I wasn't born clairvoyant or clairsentient or all those things, but I also found more intuitive access once I started looking. And for me, that showed up so that first I was just into books and I was just curious and I was like, what is mindset? And then I had one experience too, where I was meditating and I got it's not like I heard something, but I got an answer inside. It was just like, I got a word, and I can share the quick story. This is like me coming out of the closet with a small story. So for me, what I was doing, I was reading a book from my rational mind, curious about inner critic, because I was growing myself as a coach. And and I wanted to like kind of like get control of my inner critic, which is a good thing to do. So there was this exercise in this one book about meditating, and you can talk with your inner critic, you can hold a conversation. And so I did that, and I have a good imagination. I was just imagining, okay, so I'm sitting with that woman, and I actually kind of got a visual impression of it's like it was like, oh, long black hair and like a gauzy veil, like just almost like you quickly turn on a TV and you see a quick image. So I got like something, and okay, so she kind of looks like Indian or something. And then I had this beautiful conversation in my mind where she kind of like turned into an ally and like turned into a supporter for me. Like, okay, yeah, I don't have to criticize you. I'll totally want to support you. We have the same goals. So that was beautiful, right? And then when I felt like a lot better already, I was still meditating, and my curious mind came in, and I was like, "Wow, this is cool. Like, what if I ask her name?" And I was like, just curious in my mind, well, what is your name? And then first I felt like, you don't need to know, kind of as answer. But I was insisting because my curious mind wouldn't shut up. And then I got a word, alaya. And I had no idea what that means. And I was at the time house sitting, and I didn't have internet. So I texted to my friend. And I was like, hey, does that mean something, Alaya? And she texts me back and says, yeah, it means realm of consciousness. And I'm like, what? So that was like one of those first instances where I'm like, okay, we could not explain everything. This is totally wild, but it was not scary wild. It was just, there's stuff that we can't explain. So that's why I wanted to share that story. And that was one of my openings into trusting my hunches and my gut feeling and all that. So we can all access that. And before I ask you more, Michelle, I'm talking a bit longer than normal. I just want to highlight like how crucial that has been to my own power as a business owner to have access to that inner wisdom. It is like nothing works without that. Everything else feels fake, like Michelle is saying. It's like taking on other people's systems. And can you share a bit more about that, Michelle? Like how is it helping you and your clients to have that access?
Yeah. Before we, this is off script, but it's right on what you're saying. So yeah. I'm feeling this presence. So I just want to go there.
Yes, go wherever you want to go. I love it.
Your person, your being, Elia, she to me feels like this really strong, feminine warrior. Warrior is the word I would use. And it's like, oh, she's like, her spine is so strong and she can do it. It's like she has this armor almost, that she can do things with. And she's so sexy too. And use her like she is here for you. So when you align where you're going, right, with your purpose, which is always connected to your life story. It's always in there if we go digging, and you use her strength, right? It's you can soar, and we all have something like that we can access. God, I mean, it's like they're right there going, hey, I want to help you, and we just can't hear, or we don't know how yet.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. I so love that you're going, like, as you say, off script, like you're totally on script. You're on the intuitive script, role modeling, how this can play out. So
I know I've been doing
this. Let's take it there. This is super powerful. I totally love doing this live. We're both out of the closet. Hey, we're talking total woo. Okay. I love it. So, go ahead.
Can I say something about that total
please.
woo-woo?
Yes,
so
please.
This is a more grounded side of me. So this is the CPA, the CFO side. It's in Myers-Briggs, I'm an INTP, which is like 2% of the women, 3% of the people. So it just means I'm a nerd. If you look at like I reverse engineer systems and structures. Yeah. So I love astrology. I love what would be another example? Past life regression. To me, it's all just linear, and time's not linear. Actually, time's circular, or it's present. But it's still, when we follow energy, it's logical and it is linear. And so to me, what we're doing when we talk about mindset it's neuroscience is
Yes.
It's left brain, right brain, and it's so logical. In one way, it makes no sense that we've been afraid of it. I
Yeah.
think we just didn't know how to use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we get images, some people get images, some people get a knowing, and the knowing might come in like through their arms, it might come into their gut, or they might just hear something. It doesn't matter. It's all this, all the same. But it's actually kind of like science, and it's kind of like energy. And if we weren't afraid of it, and we just used it as an energy pattern that is here to guide us, like I think of it as a North Star, our true compass, true north, to just guide us, right? It's not a straight line. We go like this and we go like this and we go like this, but we get there. And all of that helps us get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. And you hit a bunch of topics, and I love that you brought in the science view. And for those of you who totally get like triggered by what we're talking about, don't be super quick to dismiss it. I mean, you can, but it's your choice, right? But there are so many approaches to these things that we can't explain at first. And I found too, when I was approaching all these areas, I was reading so many different books, and I kind of really wanted to make sense of things and grasp things. So I took like baby steps in what I felt drawn to. So I looked at neuroscience books as well. I picked up some quantum physics things, a book like by Lynn Taggart, The Field, things like that. I wonder if you even recommended that to me. Like, it sounds like familiar. There's a lot of literature out there, and there are a lot of experiments out there that actually measurably proven like energy and aura fields and there's all kinds of stuff that you can verify for yourself, but it's all about what you're ready to do. I know there's a lot of still society conditioning out there of like, oh, that's scary, or oh, that's weird, or whatever, but like we have the choice to take on whatever we want to believe. And that's what we're role modeling here, to embrace what you are ready for and what you're curious about and what serves you, right? Like we don't have to know everything. And like, I don't have to space travel, whatever, like, you know, and others do. And so this is another great reason why we have Michelle here, because there are people out there like Michelle who can access the realm and give us the wisdom that serves us at the time. And I get that kind of coaching for myself all the time from different psychic coaches, Akashic records, all kinds of things. It's literally the fast track to answers that align with our heart and that serve us best at the time with us personally. That's the cool thing. I've never gotten any advice from the other side that was not serving me.
Right. On a grounded thing, what I just heard was 70% of what our brain, the thought pattern, what it's trying to do is predict the future, and it's doing it based upon the past. And so when we do that, it's hard to visualize our big vision, what inside scares the crap out of us, right? Because we've got that it's like this feeling, and we don't know how to communicate it, or we're afraid to speak it. And it's outside of our comfort zone. It's bigger than us. And so it's in our business, it's how do we, or in our life, right? How do we bring that in if our brain keeps going back to the past to try to get us to a new location we haven't been yet at? So to me, the other modalities that to some are woo-woo, I mean, hypnosis was woo-woo before, and it's not anymore. But anyway, they help us kind of go in sideways, and they help us remove the limiting beliefs that we don't even know that have gone subconscious, that have been holding us back. And then we are free to be us.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you say that. This is such a great picture that we keep projecting if we keep projecting from the past and just what we know and what we see, then we keep replicating the same reality. And like, if we really want to dream big, we have to get out of that system and like look beyond the veil in one way or another. And there are many playgrounds. Like, I found art is like huge too, like intuitive art. This is one of the things that I do, as I found as a gift, as an intuitive gift, to draw blindly and then I can read those things. But the cool thing is we can all also do that. And like, when you do art in that way, you can also access your real wisdom. There's many ways, and meditations, and like, so you don't have to, like, there's no one, you have to do it like this. So we're just expanding your mind a little bit in this conversation.
Right. It's how we turn those challenges into opportunities, like you like to say, right?
Yes.
How do we create a new perspective, a new interpretation, so that our challenge is not a challenge? It is indeed. How do we turn it upside on its head, the essence of it, and move it forward into an opportunity?
Yes. So let's go there a bit more, like, because you just had this, do you want to share a bit more about your recent coming out? Like, you had a huge thing where you held yourself back, since we're talking about limiting beliefs, where you played small, and what happened for you during that time, and how is it different now, and how did you get here? Like, talk a bit about this recent time that you shared with me before.
So the CPA side of me made the mechanics of growing a business easy. I mean, it was easy to see it. It's logical. That's the part that my left brain, although I'm 90% right brain when I'm tested, but that's the part that, I mean, I just see that. Like, I see math, I see that. So I was trying to go there, and that worked for a while. But it just wasn't, when I worked with people, it wasn't what I was doing. It wasn't what was stopping them. The knowledge of what to do next wasn't what was stopping them. It was their inner game. It was their inner fear. It was their not speaking their truth and being stuck on coming forth. So in order to serve my clients better, I needed to bring in that other part of me, which I did with my clients, and I felt safe there. So it was a smaller step of feeling safe, right? Because they saw it in me anyway, or there were people, and I, just like what happened with you, and I'd go, wait a minute, something's coming in now. But to market it that way, that just scared the crap out of me. It scared the crap. I just kept going, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I actually was washing dishes, and I started seeing that some beliefs that I was holding weren't even my beliefs, and that they were someone else's belief, yet it was running my life. And then another time it started coming in hot yoga. So interesting kind of water in both parts. But I started seeing that these beliefs, these that have gone underground in me, were not my beliefs, and they were either someone else's or on the past. And I just had to make a choice, and it was scary, but I finally said yes to what I came here to do. And if I want to lead a community, so that we can, because that's the picture I see, I'm so visual, so that we could all step up and be who we came here to be, to get the work out we came here to do, then we need to own it. We need to stand up and own it. So I need to lead it. And it's just like this other stuff keeping me afraid just lost its power over me. The desire to serve outgrew the desire to hide.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. And I love that you shared also, it was a journey that led you there, right? Like, you were in pain for a long time. And I'm so, I saw you, because you're so struggling, like, from your mind, like, what kind of marketing do I do? What do I say in my brand? And like, what makes sense? Like, do I put my name here? What do I name my group? All those things. And what I saw last week, as we were in the mastermind together, like, you are a totally different person. You were like radiant. You are totally at peace. You are just saying from your heart what you're doing. And I was like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
she's got it. It's
Right.
just there. You found, yes.
It's to me, it's business magic. And I was so afraid that what would other people think of that word, right? And what would
Yes.
other, but it's like owning it. It is business magic, miracle mindset. It's our mind, it's our inner work that is our greatest spiritual journey. Our business can be our greatest spiritual journey. And the way forward is utilizing all of that. And
Yes.
and to me, the term magic is about mindset. It's mindset mastery.
Yes.
It's universal law.
Yeah.
We just haven't been or I hadn't been operating it
Yes.
with it. I hadn't really trusted that the universe does have a flow. I mean, I talked it, but I didn't trust it. There's a difference when it just comes in and you just go, yes.
Yeah, and I can feel that it takes huge courage to be there and to say yes to that, because then from a rational view, basically you're saying like, no, I'm not taking like a marketing system or a brand strategy that others have been using just because it worked for them. But I feel what I need to do. I'm getting words that come out of me like business magic and miracle mindsets that just came to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see? And so now you embrace this thing like, okay, this feels right. I don't know where it's going. I'm leaning in. I'm just taking it and I'm following my heart. Is that where you're at?
Right. Absolutely. And there's another side of me, and I owned it. So the two came at the same time, and that's the part of me that connects to the other side. That's the part of me that's now doing interviews with my sister with people regarding afterlife and near-death experience, because I just see so much of and hear so much from the other side. So that to me is a natural thing. Well, coming out there, I mean, the two are hand in hand. You know, that we are more than this body.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're fusing both. You're fusing like the mindset, which is the earthly power engine to land the magic, right? We need a powerful mindset. We can all agree on that. And you're fusing that with your intuitive knowing of getting the higher wisdom. And then so like, boom, people can fly from the ground and take off. I totally get it.
It's like we're a radio. I mean, well, to me, when I go into journey space and I get information and download, that's what it's like. So we're a radio and we're tuning. It sounds like it's time to go. But it's like, what channel? Where's the channel?
Yeah, I love it, Michelle. Like so much magic. And I feel like I'm going to have you on my show again in the future. I can't wait to talk more. But tell people, where can they find you? You have a cool Facebook group. And what is your website? Please say both.
They can find it on the website, Michelle Depres, my name, Michelle Depres, Depres, it's French.com, and Business Magic in Facebook.
Very cool. Oh my gosh, I'm totally going to join your group. I can't believe I'm not there yet. Yes. Actually, we have one more minute. So let me ask you one last tip to women who are starting out. What would you tell them as how you start your business? One power tip that comes to you intuitively. And maybe Alaya has a tip since you saw her earlier.
You have the tip. To me, it's believe in yourself. It's if it's there, if you can see it, you can do it. Period. Yeah. It's other people's interpretations or projections or your own interpretations that are stopping that. You can see it, you can do it.
That takes so much courage, and it takes some work to let things go. So I'm going to add one tip because we have like 30 seconds. You don't have to walk this path alone. This is what I want to give everybody, because it can be hard just sitting there and scrunching your face and go like, I see my magic, but how do I get there? It really helps to get like, I started opening up when I said yes to getting coaches for myself, to investing in what felt good. And like, it's not just one time. It's like, keep following that path. If you need more, go. We're never done. Just keep following where you feel you're getting your wisdom, who you feel can help you, and allow yourself that experience. most of the time we're standing in our own way, saying like, nope, I can't do this for whatever reason you want to see at the time. We can choose. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hi, Michelle, thank you so much for having been on the show, and everybody for having tuned in. Please rate my show, share it along on iTunes and wherever you feel inspired to, and follow your heart. All the best to all of you. Yeah. Blaze
Bye.
on. Thank you. Thank you so much.